Hey guys, what's going on? I'm just back again just to talk about what I've been up to lately. I'm trying to dive into a new space, and yeah, that's NFTs. So before I jump into that though, can I please just take a second to admire and take in this beautiful custom tailored piece right here. It's by House of Cami. Cami is a good friend of mine, local designer from Brisbane, and she makes some dope stuff for both males and females. So check out her website, Insta, whatever. House of Cami. Thank you so much. It's beautiful. I just love it. And being in a lockdown, I needed an excuse to kind of chuck it on, and today that was this video. So thank you so much. So back to the NFTs. Yeah, how did it start? Well, probably for about like 6 months plus now. A couple of my friends have been on my back and they've been like, yo, you should check this out, it's the future, NFTs is blowing up, and shout out to those guys. So George, Marcus, Peter, like every other day they're just like, hey, have you started yet? Come on man, you gotta get onto this. And you know what, the other week George sent me a video for a YouTube tutorial, how to get started in the NFT space, and I checked it out and I was like, hey, you know what, I'm gonna give this a shot. So there's a bunch of tutorials and I've seen like a few of them as well, and they cover similar things, and it really helped me, so I hope that it helps you too. I'll probably chuck the link down in the description of the one that I used. I found him really easy to understand, and yeah, just related with what he was talking about. So yeah, check it out. And yeah, so some of you might be thinking like, I've been promoting my thing for a couple of days now. I have this collection that is ready to go, like the first drop, and as I'm putting it out, I've had so much support from my friends, so thank you all. Like getting some airtime on this project, and I've also had a lot of people come back to me and be like, yo, what's NFT, man? I've heard of this before. So I guess I'll kind of cover that. And full disclaimer, I got really no idea. I'm still learning every day. I'm really new to this whole like cyber world, crypto thing, NFTs, all that. But the best way I can explain it, for probably some of you creatives might be able to understand it in a similar way. Picture something like a royalty image site, like a stock photo site, like Adobe Stock, for example, right? So Adobe Stock is kind of like, it's almost like this, like, alright, hold on. This is like a huge thing. So it's like, the best way I can explain it, imagine Adobe Stock, where you got all the users that upload their works, and you pay them for their works, right? So like that work can be like, images, photographs, videos, audio, whatever. So in the NFT space, you can do similar thing. Like you can upload all those kind of file formats, and yeah, just like you put them through your account. But the only thing is, this market is like a really fluid market, right? So the currency doesn't really stay the same all the time. It fluctuates a lot. So that's one of the things you got to keep in mind. And then also, once your item or your artwork or your piece is sold, you can on the back end set up some royalties, so you get on it every time that it passes hands. And so this space is kind of like, it's also like trading cards, right? And people want to be a part of this kind of community that you're putting out there, your collection, for example. So you'll see like a lot of similar items in the collection, but they'll all be unique, one of one, right? Because we all want that, we all want to feel special, right? So yeah, that's, and it goes on, and it takes some time. You got to be patient. Have patience. And yeah, just good to see. I think with anything in life, I believe if you give it 110%, like there's no way you can fail, right? You gave it a shot, If nothing goes on there, then you can, in my case, my artworks, like I can just kind of jig them and have them in another space. Use those artworks that didn't, maybe do too well in that cyberspace. Maybe print them out, put them on a canvas, have an exhibition, whatever, right? So to me, it's not a waste of time at all. And that's why I have been spending like average of 10 to 14 hours days for like the last week or so, and just really grinding it out, because I got this idea and I was like, yeah, it'll be sick. I'm gonna give it a good shot, right? So a little bit about my collection that I'm working on. One of the things that I figured, like I said before, is that everyone in this space wants to be part of a community, right? And I thought about like, what kind of communities am I in that I enjoy, that allow self-expression and things like that. Like some things like, old school car clubs. I love the old school cars, clothing, and one that really stood out for me was sneakers. So sneakers, a lot of people into sneakers these days, kicks, shoes, whatever you want to call it, and it's huge, right? It's just blowing up. Like, for me, I was fortunate to have older siblings, and my older brother, for example, he just kept me laced fresh from a kid, right? So to me, that's kind of like the first thing I always look at. I just, it's so materialistic, but I just love it. Just like the design, the shapes, the colors, the history, it takes you back to a moment, really. So I was like, yeah, that's it. That's going to be my kind of starting collection. I'll focus on this, and then later I'll chuck up some of my original artwork pieces and things like that. But as the first drop, as a first focus, the way to introduce myself to this space, how better else than a piece of me, right? And sneakers is a big thing in my life. It's past an addiction now. And so, so I thought I'll run with this. I'll run with this idea, this sneaker thing. So my whole idea was just like, people love collecting sneakers, right? Since the start of time, when people would chuck in on, maybe probably even like those wooden joints the cavemans were wearing, I'm sure they had a couple pairs, because you got this pair, and then you got this pair for doing this, or this pair for going out, and this pair for doing sports, going to the gym, So, I think most of us are lucky enough and privileged enough to have maybe more than one pair of shoes, right? And for me, I got a couple more than that, and I'm super grateful for it. So, I thought, all right, cool. Since that's a thing, like that's what a lot of people share in common, right? We all wearing shoes of some sort. Mine's going to be focused on sneakers, because that's just a culture that I love and that I grew up with, and I know like the back of my hand, right? So I was like, yep, let's focus on something that I know, and in this space that I got no idea about. So it's a good kind of balance. I guess, what makes my NFTs so special? Well, this collection in particular, called Dead Stock, right? So Dead Stock means kind of like something like new old stock. Say you buy vintage car parts or bike parts or whatever. It doesn't have to be that old, but it's just kind of like stock that has been sitting, right? So back in the day, you could go into like a mum and pop's like sneaker store or like a athletic store, and you'd be like, hey, can you check what's in the back? I used to do that at like Nike and stuff back then, like maybe 10 years ago. I know you got these fresh kicks, but what's in the back? And that dead stock is what you wanted, that brand new, but it's old, so it's like not here right now. It also applies for new kicks, but more often than not, it's relatable for the old things. So I thought Dead Stock is going to be a collection of sneakers, in my expression of the object, right? So by no means like Nike, Jordan, who's like a big part of like my first release, you know, give a brother a chance, like don't, like, I'm just expressing what I love, right? So I'm not trying to rip anything off, I'm not trying to recreate anything, so to speak. I'm just giving my interpretation of that object or that sneaker, right? And so for me, everything starts off with a sketch because I want to keep things organic. So I just sketch them out on paper, kind of get the shape right, chuck it through like a vector-based program like Illustrator, redraw it, and then my idea is to have maybe like a handful of one-off colors, right? Those one-off colors relate to real life colors. So like a lot of people in the NFT space, what they use is a generator, and they'll put in like, say, you know, they'll have 5 different colors for hair, 5 different skin tones, 5 different kind of like eyewear, facial hair, whatever. And they'll run it through a generator, and the generator will put it together for them, and then they'll upload like 9,000, and you know, everyone will like try and have a look which one's the most, you know, individual piece or whatever, and cop that. In my case, because I'm focusing on real colors that have come out, and I want the colors to be as, you know, close as possible, I can't really run it through a generator, right? If you guys want to see some random mashups and stuff, let me know, and I'll try and make that happen. But my love is for, you know, remembering that sneaker ages ago. You know, it's just, say for example like Chili Air Max 1s, or you know, like Jordan 4 like Fire Reds or whatever, and you know, those things, like I said, it just brings back a moment. There I go, I'm just like drifting away into that moment. But so what I'm trying to say is that all mine look like something that you'd remember, and you know, maybe you've got it in real life, maybe you aspire to copying that in the future, maybe you've got a pair that's more than 10 years old, and like you all know, the sole just like starts crumbling, exploding, falls off. But the good thing about these are that they will never break on you. You know, they might fluctuate in price, resale value, but they will never crumble on you. So that sneaker is in your collection forever. And you know, I guess just even that thought just makes me so happy. So yeah, I'm really excited for you guys to check this out. I'm super stoked. Like I said, I've been working long hours just to get it together, working on some promo pieces now. So, you know, please, you know, when you see me put out stuff, please like, whatever, like, share, whatever they say on YouTube, but you know, subscribe or whatever. Yeah, suss it out and let me know what you think. Let me know what you're excited about. Even maybe drop a comment and let me know what sneakers you'd like to see in like specific colorways. The first drop, I'm hoping to get, you know, anywhere from 5 to 20 pairs done and chuck them out. And after that, like, let's see what happens, right? Let's see where this is going to take us. I hope you all have been really well during these trying times right now. It's so chaotic in the world, and you know, I wish everyone the best of health, and you know, just spend your time doing what you love to do, and yeah, you can't go wrong. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Peace. Take care.